Hi, I'm Andrew Gaffney, the publisher of Demand Gen Report, and we're at Dreamforce, and I'm joined by Raghu Raghavan, CEO of ActOn. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
So we like to check in with ActOn every year. We knew you guys when you were just getting started, but you've been going through explosive growth the last couple of years.
Yes.
Give us a little catch up in terms of where you guys are and growth and some of the latest figures.
So, we have grown, we've probably tripled in customer count since we met last year.
Oh, yeah.
We've tripled our headcount, employee, and so we're now in 6 locations, coming up on 2,000 customers. We are growing as fast as it's possible to grow.
It's amazing. And obviously the product keeps expanding. You guys recently made an announcement of a new platform announcement.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Very important announcement for the company. When we announced the platform, we were almost forced to do this because the first 20 or so integrations that we did with other companies, we did ourselves.
Right.
Because we felt like the customer had to have the best possible experience and we didn't want to depend on a third party. But demand was just too much. And so we waited to announce the platform that a lot of people could work against. So this is no mere API. This is a platform where we can dial the quality of service up and down for each partner, just like App Exchange does. And it is, the demand has been huge. We expect to see at least 150 companies start to use this thing shortly. So yeah, big for the company.
That's great. And obviously, also you guys have introduced an agency type product too.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that and the purpose that serves.
So the agencies have been a great partner for us. I think they've been a very natural partner.
Sure.
And what we wanted to do was to enable them to be more efficient in their business operations. So we created the agency, a panel to allow them to provision their own customers, to push content into their customers, to basically manage their customers better. Right? And I think it's difficult for them to do that without direct support from a company like us.
Help them launch campaigns for clients, help them get the right...
Well, in many cases, they will actually add and subtract clients, they'll launch campaigns, they'll generate leads. In fact, it's interesting, when I compare this to 2 years ago, I think 3 of our top 5 customers are agencies, big agencies.
That's great. So a lot of software companies and clients in the space, you look for annual contracts. You guys have a unique model. One of your things you're talking about here is you invite clients if it's not working to fire us. Tell us a little bit about that model, what's behind it.
Yeah, so when we first did it, we were thinking that it would be a way to get customers to try us without a lot of risk to them.
Right.
But once we adopted that thing, it actually changed the entire company. We are a lot more nimble. We have to earn our customers' business every month. We don't just call them on the last day of the contract expiry to say, hey guys, how are things going, right? And I think it's also made us put a lot more systems in place so we can see whether customers are using or not using, to alert us, to call them. It's just made us a lot more nimble as a company.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, I think this is where SaaS is going. I think the days of holding people against their contracts, it's an anachronism.
Yeah, it's interesting. So you were one of the executives with Responses in their early days of growth.
Yes.
How do you compare this space to what you saw in the maturation of that?
Okay, so interesting question. If you think about SaaS, Responses was, hand crank cars, right? That was the day. And ActOn is a Tesla. I mean, that's the comparison. It's so different at so many levels. The adoption of SaaS by customers, we don't have to convince anybody. Everybody wants this. There's 2 million companies in North America that want the technology that we have, right? It's huge. And so for us, what's the risk in doing this? If you look at the technologies of today, and you look at what customers are trying to do with it, there was no mobile, there was no social, there were no cell phones, there were no tablets, right? Users didn't use Facebook. So all they did was browse the web. So it's just been massive evolution.
Yeah.
And it's hard to even compare them.
So marketing cloud, marketing in general has a much higher presence here at the show, much greater visibility, a lot more talks in the keynote about it.
Yeah.
That good for the space? What's sort of your sense of the climate here at the show?
Oh, fantastic, great for the space. In fact, the consolidation that's taking place has actually helped us. And in fact, I would tell you that people are realizing that marketing technology applies in segments other than marketing. Marketing technology applies in sales. Right. Marketing technology applies in service, right? And I think that's the reason you're seeing all these companies here, because everybody's looking for an ecosystem, because the customer at the end of the day wants to have a unified experience with all the tools they use.
And the booth's been packed, so it's obviously been a good show for you guys.
It's been a fantastic show for us. we've had, we have a meeting room in the back as well. We've had non-stop traffic in there. We've had a very high quality of prospect walk up and talk to us when I compare it to years past. They're educated, they know what they want, they've compared the vendors, they ask really smart questions.
Oh, that's great. We really appreciate you making time for us today. Good to see you again.
It's great to see you every year because when we first met with you guys, we didn't have a booth, we were walking around.
I knew you went.
Wow, yes. And so it's great to have been working with you guys all these years.
Yeah, good to see you. Congratulations on everything. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.